be wrestling 4 matches throughout 2025, so 1 down, 3 to go.
Could we see that extend?
There's a lot of pieces in place that aren't going to be ready until the end of the year.
Seeing the Rizzler come out in the Orange Cassidy getup.
Of course, we have Big Justice with the power boom, and the crowd went absolutely wild. I forgot what I said to Big Justice, but when I got backstage, Big Justice said, "Do you remember what you said to me?" And I said, "So much was going on, buddy." Tell me, what did I say?
Hello and welcome to Dropkick the Commute. I am Mufussi. Today, I have a very special guest with me. He truly needs no introduction. Viral sensation. He brings the boom. He likes double chunk chocolate cookies. Big Boom AJ, how are you today?
I'm very happy to be here. So Mufussi, you go by Mufussi on the air, huh?
Yeah, Mufussi. That's my name on there.
I know we've been going back and forth. That it's Justin, right? On the air, Mufussi.
Yeah.
All right. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Means a lot. First of all, let's talk about the big thing, the reason why you're here. AEW Revolution. You are officially under contract with AEW. You said that on the media scrum, and I was like, whoa, they didn't make you an all-elite graphic. You need one.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that was such big news, because I think it's probably a few weeks ago or maybe even a month ago now that we did finalize everything on the contract. So we will be here. I will be wrestling 4 matches throughout 2025. So 1 down, 3 to go.
Could we see that extend? Could you be with AEW for
so.
a long time? Yeah,
I think so. I think it is going to extend because there's a lot of pieces in place that aren't going to be ready until the end of the year. Action figures, for instance, a few other things that are in the works that I think are going to take about a year or maybe a little bit longer to launch. So I do see it extending. I mean, Tony had mentioned to me when we talked all about it, he kind of sees this as the 5-year thing. So listen, I'm happy right here, right now, so there's nowhere else I'd want to be.
I think you have been such a good addition to AEW, blending the social media side of things, because there was a long time we haven't really seen any like celebrity social media presence from AEW. Obviously, in the beginning, we saw like Shaq and some big names like that, but there was a couple of years there where it was only, wrestlers and like big name wrestlers here and there. But bringing in the social media side of things, and especially, all the celebrities that we saw at Revolution and all the people that you brought in as well, I think it's been a great addition.
I really want to keep it going. I'm having such a great time with it. And I do have so many friends in the creator world that I can keep bringing to shows and keep making a part of this. And of course, we have our audience that we love so much, and we can keep bringing pro wrestling to them. So I think it really is a great combination of everything.
The match itself, I think, was one of the funnest matches on the pre-show. Seeing the Rizzler come out in the Orange Cassidy getup, it popped me so hard. I was like, oh my God. Like when he came out with, Paul White originally at Full Gear, that was something, but this was something else. Like it was so good.
When he came out with Paul White at Full Gear, I was always thinking to myself, how are we ever going to top this? Because it just looks like Paul White at 10% the size. And holding hands, and Rizzler's little hand, and Paul's big catcher's mitt hand. It was crazy. I don't know. I think we topped it. Rizzler in the Orange Cassidy gear. That was crazy.
Yeah, I agree. You had the big moment that I made a TikTok about was Big Justice power booming Mansoor when you guys were in the corner. The pop for that, the zoom out of the camera, I thought it looked perfect when it was done. And you like they mentioned during the media scrum, like you guys got some of the loudest reactions of the night.
It was deafening. The crowd was deafening. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So yeah, of course we have Big Justice with the power boom, and the crowd went absolutely wild. And then the big hug, and I forgot what I said to Big Justice, but when I got backstage, Big Justice said, "Do you remember what you said to me?" And I said, "So much was going on, buddy." Tell me, what did I say? I said, Big Justice told me, I said to him, we're never going to forget this moment.
When Big Justice is older, like that's going to be a thing that he never forgets. And I think that is so cool. The bond between you guys that you've had since making content and doing this and like being in the middle of that ring, that's something like super special. And I think that's so awesome. One of the things that you said in the media scrum was people want happiness, people want positivity.
No doubt about it. And when we see the nonsense going on in our comments, I see, there's like 100 comments of nonsense to 10,000 parts. So that's all garbage. I don't even look at it. I was with another huge creator out in Los Angeles this week, bigger than us, bigger audience than us, bigger views than us. We did some content together. And he asked me, he said, AJ, how do you deal with the comments? Now, I thought he was talking about me. Like, how do I deal with them? I said, I don't. He was talking about for himself. Like, he said, like, he's been having trouble dealing with these comments. I'm like, are you out of your mind? I was like, look how happy you make people. Look how many hearts you have in your comments. You're really going to worry about this culture of people that get a kick out of negativity? Pay no mind to that. Let that go.
I started this podcast with my friend probably a little under a year ago. And I think the wrestling space in general, because there's so much tribalism in wrestling. If I make a video about AEW, like, I get shit on. If I make a video about WWE, I get shit on by people.
Right.
But I've learned to like kind of drown it out and deal with it like in my own way, like I just kind of ignore them, or I'll respond to them in like a funny way. But that is one of the things that's like, there are so many more positive comments that it's easy to ignore them, because people, like, I've gotten a lot of comments that's like, this reminds me of just, me and my friends talking about wrestling. And like, that's the kind of vibe I'm trying to bring. And, same with like that positivity. I just want to like talk about wrestling, make people happy pretty much.
No, I feel that your vision is being accomplished. I definitely feel that.
It's good that we touch on that, because that was actually one of my questions, like the negativity and tribalism in wrestling in general, and even just your comments.
I don't understand it. So I don't ever understand someone that will write a comment of Big Boom AJ is on the show while this other guy deserved that spot. That's nonsense. That's total nonsense, okay? I didn't take anybody else's spot. I earned my spot. So if there's someone that isn't on that show, they're not on that show for a reason. They didn't connect with the audience. They didn't do their part to get on the show. That can't take away from me doing my part to get on the show. I've earned my spot, and I bring happiness, and I bring joy. And on Sunday, was the first one there. I was there at 8 a.m. I was the last one to leave after the scrum. As a matter of fact, I got locked out of my locker with my gear in there and had to go find staff at crypto.com to get me back in so I could get my gear. I was the last one to leave that building that night. I got to Los Angeles last Friday before, went on a press tour, to the point of when I was with Tony Khan at the Super Bowl. I said to Tony, what is my job when I get out there in Los Angeles? Do whatever it takes to fill that building. He said, Big Boom AJ, fill that building. By Wednesday, the production team called our management and said, tell Big Boom AJ to stop, the building's full. So I know what I bring. So the fact that your guy isn't on the roster has nothing to do with I am on the roster. So I've earned my spot. And one other thing I do want to say about this, Mufasi, there is a huge, huge star in pro wrestling. I won't mention the name right now, but I will give you a little bit of a hint. I'll give everybody listening a little bit of a hint. You really want to find out who it is, go back to my World Series video. There's a video when we attended the World Series at Yankee Stadium. You really want to know who told me that he's in that video. So he ran into me at Yankee Stadium. And craziest thing in the world, he said, I was hoping to run into you. He said, never forget. He said, you're going to be reading all this. Big Boom AJ doesn't deserve that spot. Someone else deserves that spot. He said, never forget. You earned that spot. That's your spot. When you get the full gear, you remember that's your spot. You bring it. You earn that spot.
Yeah, I mean, you earned your spot in a different way. Like, yeah, you haven't been wrestling for 20 years, like in the weeds or whatever. You wrestled on the indies, but then you took a big break and you earned your spot through social media and getting there, and you brought eyes to the product. Like, you can't argue it.
I never knew this was going to be the path, but here we are.
I had people messaging me about you wrestling because they knew of the Costco guys, but they didn't know that you were a wrestler, and they knew that I was watching AEW. So it's just that kind of connection that you've brought to the product, and I think that's massive.
Thank you so much.
With AEW Revolution, obviously being in LA, you went to, you know, the LA fire departments, you met a ton of other creators and worked with them.
Well, that was awesome. So we weren't allowed to record. We took a few pictures, but we weren't allowed to record at the fire departments. But we visited 3 fire departments. Now there's 100 fire departments in LA. So we visited 3 fire departments, and one particular fire department took us for a ride out on the truck, put me up at the top of the truck. So did you know a fire truck has 2 drivers?
I didn't know.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. I was up at the top driving the top of the truck. So we had the driver down, you know, where a standard driver would be driving the truck.
Sure.
And then I was up at the top, up in the boom behind the ladder. And when the truck turns right, you turn that wheel left.
Oh, what?
So yeah, so the truck is going right, and you're wheeling the back of the truck left. And it's actually a very simple process. Like they told me in a few minutes. Turn hard left, bring it back to the center. Turn hard right, bring it back to the center.
I had no idea that's how those worked.
Oh, it was really cool. No, it was so cool. It was so cool. I really wish I was able to get a video of that. But we went out and we met 3 fire departments. We put out hundreds of tickets to the LA firemen. And what an honor that was to meet them and thank them for all their efforts. So thank you so much to the LA Fire Department.
You know, that's just another level of you bringing positivity just to people.
It's a gift. You know what? It's an opportunity I've been given. It's a gift I've been given. I have the opportunity to go out there and make the world a happier place, and you better believe I'm taking it.
You are not just the Costco guys anymore. You guys have expanded your content a ton. Before this, I was just watching the video from your YouTube posted about a month ago on the AJ and Big Justice show of when Big Justice pulled the Umbreon card. That clip of him just crying and you know, you guys just laughing because he was all excited about it. You know, you've expanded into Pokemon pack openings, of course your music, you guys have gotten into that a lot, and a lot of vlogs as well. I think the vlogs are super fun, kind of shows that family connection and just more of, you know, the ins and outs of your daily life. How is this kind of evolution of content that you're getting into going for you, and what have you learned from doing it?
Oh, so much we've learned. So I'll touch on the Pokemon real quick. I don't know if we should start posting the losses.
Believe me, I am a Magic the Gathering player. I know about the losses. I get it.
You know, we post pulling the Moonbreon, but we don't post the 100 packs we went through before we pulled the Moonbreon. We don't post the losses because they don't make great videos, but I think we probably should so that everybody out there realizes we don't win every time.
Yeah.
And as far as content, so we are really taking a very deep dive into long form content this year. I will tell you that our first shot at it did not go well, but I think this second shot, from what we've learned from it, is really, really going to go well. We're going to be recording a lot of challenges, a lot of family togetherness within the challenges, very similar to a FaZe Rug type channel with our whole family involved, very similar to a lighter version of a Mr. Beast channel. I don't think we're going to go to the beastification level with all the crazy stuff he does, but something very much where there's challenges, where there's prizes, where we're making people happy, where we're making the world better.
On FaZe Rug's podcast, you kind of talked about the first time you tried kind of evolving your content, it didn't work. And like with the scripted shorts and stuff like that, you learned a lot from that. You kind of went back to the basics, if you will, and like, you know, you guys were a lot happier. So how do you keep this evolution going but not run into that again?
Here's a great analogy if you get this one. You can't run your boat with a lot of barnacles on it, right? You got to get the barnacles off your boat. So that's the thing that we're constantly looking at. We're constantly looking at the business and getting rid of the barnacles, so that everything is running very efficiently, everything is running very happy. We do what we can do within the family as best as we can. Of course, we have to outsource a lot of stuff. We have to outsource editing, our management that gets us our partnerships, our management that negotiates our AEW deal. But everything that you're seeing internally within the videos, we're trying to do as much of that as we can without the family and take everybody's thoughts into consideration.
So I imagine there's a lot of communication there, like when coming up with ideas and stuff like that. Do you guys have like brainstorming sessions to kind of come up with the ideas for the videos?
I mean, the the ideas are nuts. The ideas are just, I mean, I'm looking at a pan here filled to the top to the bottom with ideas. So we're always coming up with something, and we have our family text. So whenever we come up with something or we see a video that we think we can do, we just throw all the ideas in there. I mean, we have about 10 things we want to record this weekend. So the ideas just keep coming.
You have worked with a ton of massive creators: Mr. Beast, Sketch, FaZe Rug, Young Gravy, you know,
Gravy.
Celebrities, and I saw recently Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. Oh, that was a ton of fun. Yeah.
What is it like being in this space now and being at that level? Because similar to wrestling, like they always say, oh, there's levels to this. There's levels to content creation as well. You know, as you grow and as you evolve, like you start meeting these other creators, collaborating with them. So what was it like working with those bigger creators, and what did you learn from them?
No doubt about it. And you're constantly learning. And once you are within this family of creators, the knowledge is just endless. We were at a dinner party the other night with probably the top 1% of YouTube creators in the world, because we're really trying to get our YouTube game on this year. And wow, the knowledge that we just got in that room and what they told us we could do is endless. Now, what I always do say though, Mufasi, is when someone comes to me, and wherever it might be, you know, sometimes I'm at the boardwalk in New Jersey, whatever. Sometimes it might be just someone at an AEW event, and they say to me, "Big Boom AJ, put me in a video." And I say, "I'll tell you what. Here's my email address right here. You can, and anyone here can find my email address right at the top of our bio. You come up with an idea. Think about this. It doesn't have to rush. It doesn't have to be tomorrow. You think of an idea of a great video we can do together. You send it to me, and I'll make it with you." So the thing that I do is when I go to a Mr. Beast, or, you know, I'll tell you what, right here, right now, I'm going to Nick DiGiovanni. I absolutely love Nick DiGiovanni, the chef. So if I go to Gordon Ramsay, or if I go to FaZe Rug, I'm going to them with an idea. And I'm coming to them with, okay, look, why don't we do this with the double choke chocolate cookie and combine it with this? And this is something we can do together. And I'm going to be in Las Vegas this week. And where are you going to be? So I'm coming to them bringing with value. I'm coming to them leading with value. I'm not just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I'm Big Boom AJ and Big Justice. Let's make a video." So I think in any aspect in life, whether you want to be a creator, a musician, a wrestler, whatever it is, you got to bring that value, and you got to make it so that they want you more than you want them.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing the elevator pitch essentially. Like that's what a DM to someone is. You're doing the elevator pitch, and that makes sense that you want to get their attention and you want to bring value to them, because it's kind of a two-way street.
No doubt. No doubt about it. By the way, I'm going to give you a good up-and-coming group that's coming up right now. If you haven't seen them yet, have you seen the MD Foodie Boys?
Yes, I just saw a video they posted with Dave Portnoy.
They're with Dave Portnoy now. We're working on a collab. We're working on a collab with them right now. I think those guys are doing some great things.
I saw the one where they were talking about pizza toppings, and they're just like,
yeah,
I just like cheese. I'm like, what? Like just plain cheese?
But we love it, right? Because it's so relatable.
Yeah, it really is.
Because like you said, you could sit right there at that table and have that conversation with them.
Yeah, it's that same kind of vibe where it's just like friends talking about food.
When I put our channel together, the vision for our channel was always that if you see our camera angles, by the way, I'm going to tell you a huge inspiration for our camera angles. Have you been to Walt Disney World? Have you gone on Guardians of the Galaxy?
I've never been to Disney.
In Walt Disney World, the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, probably the best ride in Walt Disney World right now. As you're entering the ride, you have each of the Guardians of the Galaxy on a vertical screen, and they're right here with you. Right here, just the same angle as our channel. And that's where I really got that idea. Because when we first went on that ride, before our channel like really launched, I'm looking at this, I was like, wow, I really feel like I'm part of the Guardians right now. I really feel like I'm part of this ride. And that was the inspiration for our camera angles. So our camera angles are always right here with us right there. So it looks like we are right there with the audience, because the boom belongs to all of us. And I want our audience to know that they're part of this whole thing.
The community is the whole reason why like you're able to do what you can do, and the reason why you can give people all that positivity is that. So I think that is a great mindset when thinking about like making your content. Your music, I kind of touched upon it, but you are getting more into that. You've put out a few songs already. Of course, We Bring the Boom, the classic, but you mentioned on the media scrum you might be working with Swerve, which I think is incredible.
Swerve and I have thrown some ideas back and forth. By the way, man, Swerve and I hit it off right from the time we got there. So Swerve has been awesome.
I've watched a few podcasts with him on it, and he is just such a like down to earth guy, so passionate about what he does. And of course, the first Black AEW World Champion. I think that is massive.
Probably our future champion too.
Fingers crossed. I'm rooting for him.
Let's go Swerve. And I run into him at indie shows. I love supporting pro wrestling. I love supporting the indies. And I've run into him at indie shows. And we're like, we see each other like, what are you doing here? And we're in town. We're South Florida guys, and we're supporting pro wrestling.
Making music, do you kind of approach it with the same kind of passion that you do for just making your YouTube content? Is it a similar way that you think about it?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a way to really write the lyrics that are native to our channel. Whether we're writing the lyrics for Big Justice, for Ashley, for Mama Justice, we're writing the lyrics that suit their character, and we're just having fun with it, and we're doing different beats, and we're doing different types of music. And we did a collaboration while we were out in Los Angeles. And if we could get everything to line up, I will tell you right now, Mufasi, we got the song of the summer. Couple things have to line up. We are working on this song with a talent that is signed to a major label. So they have to get the permission to release it. So we're waiting on that, but we really hope we get that permission because we have the song of the summer on our hands.
I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot of videos with other creators where they come in and have a little cameo with your lyrics and everything. I think those are some of the most fun ones that you post. Like, you really never know who's going to show up in them.
Yeah, you know what? That's who we are, and that's what we do. We love the world we're in. We love making everybody happy, and this is great to me. Like that's the exact vision of it, is for everyone to stick around and say who's coming up next.
Can you give any hints as to who you kind of have your eyes set on in AEW?
Yeah, I'll give you a few. There are a few. I did mention MJF. I would absolutely love the opportunity to step in the ring with MJF. We just stand for totally different things. So I would love an opportunity at that. Of course, what an honor it would be to ever step inside the ring with Chris Jericho. And another guy from my match just the other night. I know a lot was getting mixed up in there in the trios match, but a one-on-one match with Johnny TV. I would absolutely love the opportunity to get back in the ring with Johnny TV.
What a perfect group for you guys to face, too, at Revolution. Because, like MXM Collection and Johnny TV, they're kind of like... Their MXM definitely is on more of the comedic side of wrestling, and I think the chemistry between you all just matched like perfectly.
What an amazing group of wrestlers on both sides. I mean, Orange Cassidy, what a ring general that guy is. I mean, calling out our team. And Mark Briscoe, just like, how does this guy even exist? Just
Mark
like
Briscoe
right?
is one of the craziest wrestlers I've ever seen. He is just, every time he comes out, he breaks everyone on camera every time he does a promo,
right,
which is so funny.
He just disrupts everything and everybody loves it. And then, to have that group of characters with that level of wrestling ability was just incredible. And then, of course, we got Big Justice, we got the Rizzler, we got Taya, we got Harley Cameron coming down there. I'm never going to tell anybody I'm a great technical wrestler. I'm not. I get in there and I rough it up and I mix it up and I got some power.
Yeah.
And I have the crowd riled up, and that's who I am, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to be at AEW. What did you think of my blue gear?
I like the blue gear.
Did you like the blue?
I liked it. Yeah, it made the cookies on the tights pop out more.
Yeah,
it was good.
I mean, my vision with that was, since we were wrestling out in LA, to wear the LA Dodgers colors.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So kind of like a tribute to the LA audience. I knew we were in the Lakers building, but couldn't go Lakers because that's just too off brand. The purple would have just been too off brand. So I went with Dodger blue while we were out there in LA. So I think that each city we go to, I'm gonna go with the colors of one of the local sports teams.
Oh, I wanted to bring up as well, the video that you guys posted on your channel, the vlog about Full Gear, I think that was another great way to, you know, integrate like the social media side of things with the wrestling side of things. And I think that's why it works so well. So what was making that video like? Because obviously Full Gear was your first match.
Ashley really did that. Ashley did that all out of fun. Listen, the day of the show, I got so much on my mind, so I'm not really vlogging. So if something does come out, I think, you know, Ashley and Mama Justice had worked on that and got that to our editors. So I don't really know if we have anything. I know Ashley also did the day that we went to Jacksonville,
right,
when we were at Daly's place. So Ashley made an awesome vlog about that. As far as vlogging goes, Ashley's our best. Ashley's our family member that understands vlogging the best, and I think she does some incredible work with that.
And that style of content. Yeah.
Because I think that Ashley is very calm and a great storyteller. Whereas that's one of the things with Foxy that we struggled with our first time around doing long form content is that, yeah, for 90 seconds, everybody wants to hear us shouting and boom and doom and the boom meter and all that. But you don't want to watch that for 20 minutes. So that's why I think we're going to take another step this time around and do better this time around when we start up the long form again on Monday.
Long form is definitely a totally different beast than, you know, short form and TikTok. Like short form content definitely has its own challenges sometimes because you are restricted, but long form, it's how do you keep people's attention for 20 minutes? How do you keep them engaged?
No doubt about it. I think I have a little bit of a better understanding of it right now with everything I've learned. So first off, with long form content is watched on a television. It's not really watched on a phone. So let's consider that. So it's watched on a television, and the hour it's watched most is dinner time. So someone's going to come home, sit down, watch dinner, turn on the long form content and leave it on. They're not going to, in the middle of dinner, change it. So that's where most of long form is being consumed. So just something like that is eye-opening. The next thing is the challenges that go on throughout the long form. That's what you really want to make a captivating long form is you need that hook, and then talk about that challenge, what you're doing throughout the long form, and then remind the audience of that challenge all throughout the video until you finally have your payoff at the end. So if you watch a really good long form video, a Mr. Beast video, a FaZe Rug video, they're making the introduction in the beginning, what they're doing. They're telling the story of what they're doing. They're reminding you throughout the video of what they're doing, and then you have that payoff at the end.
Yeah, and like with their channels too, they've been doing it so long, they learn as they go as well. What works, what doesn't work, and then just how the long form content and trends evolve in the space as well, because that's something totally different. Editing styles, like their editing styles evolve so much, and that's
thumbnails.
Yeah, thumbnails are something that I still am trying to figure out.
Are you familiar with Matthew Beam, the guy that builds the craziest things out of? He built a fish tank in his own house. He turned his house into a fish bowl, a fish tank.
Yeah, that I've seen.
I've gotten very close with Matthew over the last few months, and he starts with the thumbnail. So he starts with the thumbnail. So he built a big gaming room for Speed, and he started with the thumbnail of Speed uncovering the gaming room, and then went backwards and then reached out to Speed and said, hey, I want to build this gaming room for you, and then created the video after the thumbnail.
It's almost like concept art then for like a movie or a video game or something like that. It's just concept art.
Absolutely. I mean, he really helped me out with a long form that we're doing right now. So we flew out to Denver to meet Matthew, and we recorded out there. So he's loaning me one of his editors. He's loaning me his thumbnail guy. So, I can't wait to see we should have the first version of the edit soon, and the thumbnails being worked on over the next couple of days. So I can't wait to see the difference.
That's awesome. It's going to be a fun project and fun challenge to kind of jump back into and try the long form again.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be there as a creator. You got to be there. I mean, yeah, I would absolutely love to just create short form for the rest of my life, but to really take that next step into the creator world, you really got to get that long form. I met some incredible creators out there in LA. We got some great videos coming your way that we're still working on. As of right now, it looks like I will be back a time or two leading up to July, but I will be back for All In Texas. Of course, that's going to be July 12th I've been talking to the executives. I think I would like to step in the ring one more time.
Before All In?
Yeah. I think I would like to step in the ring one more time. I didn't have as much time as I would have liked to prepare for Revolution because I did have the broken foot and I wasn't cleared to really train until about a couple of weeks before Revolution.
So that's pretty tight then.
I hadn't been doing, I hadn't been doing my squats. I hadn't been doing my leg presses. I had a couple of weeks to do it. So I probably got in 2 lower body workouts. I was doing some mild cardio. So I wasn't quite in the shape that I wish I wasn't even in the I wasn't in the shape I was in at full gear. So I want to get working on getting myself back into that kind of shape. And, I would like to have a warm up or 2 before we go to All In.
You were on the AEW the All In countdown show, right?
Yeah.
How was that? Because that was massive. Being up there with Tony Khan and Mercedes Moné.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, Bobby Lashley was there. Yeah. I met Sting.
Oh, that's awesome.
We took pictures with Bryan Danielson. I mean, so that was awesome. So. You know what I did that day? So there were some really true hardcore wrestling fans, and they had the photo opportunity set up where you step up, you get your picture, and it was me, it was Big Justice, and it was Brian. So the 3 of us were together, and then they were telling someone step in and take the picture. Now I knew there were some hardcore wrestling fans that had been waiting their whole life to get a picture with Brian. So I said, Big Justice, I said, when they step up, let's step back, let them get their picture, then let's step in and let them get a second picture. So yeah, I really wanted everyone to get that opportunity to get their picture with Brian.
That's incredible. Like meeting some of those people and I can only imagine.
Oh, it's so cool. We drove with him. What a cool guy. I'm very good friends with a local barbecue there that we went down to Arlington, Texas for the Power Showcase. Big Justice was in a home run derby back in November. So we made great friends with Brandon Hurtado, the owner of Hurtado's Barbecue. So on that day, I said, "Hey, Brandon, there's about 12 guys over here. Bring me some of those barbecue potatoes." He makes this massive barbecue potato about the size of a football, loaded with brisket, chili, everything's in this. So I say, by the way, Brian Danielson's here. Just bring him a plain potato. So he brings him the plain potato, and Brian's like, "Oh no, I don't eat potato today. It's Monday. I only eat salmon." So I was like, "You know what, Brandon? This isn't your fault. This is his fault. You did all you can do."
All In Texas is going to be an absolutely massive show. Their biggest show in North America that they've done. Do you keep up with the product, or have you for a few years before you joined AEW?
I'm really catching up now. So yeah, I watch every week now.
That's fair.
I watch all the highlights. I know there's a lot of talk out there. Yeah, you know what? You did ask me if I wanted to bring something up. Yeah, there is a lot of talk out there about, do I really want to be at AEW? And what I will say is I grew up in northern New Jersey, and I went to Madison Square Garden. I went to the Meadowlands. I went to the Philadelphia Spectrum growing up. So, of course, I'm a Northeast guy. So, yeah, the 8-year-old, 10-year-old, 11-year-old version of me may have wanted to be somewhere else. But right here, right now, there is nowhere else on this planet I would rather be than AEW. I absolutely love it here. AEW is going to get everything that I have to give, and I'm going to keep bringing it to AEW. So there is nowhere else I would rather be. If somebody's clipping this, if somebody's watching this, take this out there, let the world know it. There is nowhere else I'd rather be than AEW.
Like I've said, when I make videos about either, competition is so great for the business, and there's a lot of people that don't understand that, and it baffles me. If AEW didn't exist, you would not have this opportunity. All of the talent there would not have this opportunity. All of the cameramen, the producers, everyone, they're providing so many jobs to people, and they're providing an entirely different version of the product to people. Choices are good. So I don't understand why people hate, just watch wrestling. I've said that so many times in this past year of just watch wrestling, because it's all fun.
Just watch it, enjoy it. It's just like that conversation. Why do we have to choose between Marvel and DC?
Yeah.
Both have awesome characters.
Right.
We got Hulk, we got Superman, we got Batman, we got Thor. But why I got to choose? They're all awesome.
Yeah.
We can all be awesome. And speaking of awesome, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
What a guy Tony Khan is. I'll tell you, I mean, we get to the arena and he can't do enough. AJ, is there anything you need? Big Justice, anything you need, you just let me know. Big Justice, come here, come and sit over here at Gorilla. Learn how this all works. Wow, what a heart of gold that guy has. And, you know, I'm so honored to be here with Tony.
Saying learn how this all works, I think that is huge. Like, even if you're not going to be the CEO of AEW, he still wants you to sit there and he wants to provide his knowledge that he has. I think that's incredible.
He's got Big Justice and Rizzler sitting there at Gorilla with him. That's awesome. These kids are never going to forget that.
Learning is the most important thing that we have in this world. I think anything that you can learn, open your mind up and just learn whatever. Take in everything.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And don't ever think the world owes you anything. I talk all the time about my 4 pillars of success and happiness. And these are my own 4 pillars, and I've gotten them along the way from listening to others and from experiences. But my 4 pillars of success and happiness, and if anything ever isn't going right, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's in family, if something isn't going right for me, I look back to my 4 pillars and I say, that's the one I'm not doing. So I'm going to give you pillar number 1. Pillar number 1 is 0. Again, 0 negative thoughts. Just like you take the garbage out of your house, take the negative thoughts out of your mind. They don't belong there. They don't serve you well. Get rid of the negative thoughts. Number 2, eliminate mistakes to maximize time. Okay? If you're in a job you don't like, if you're in a relationship you don't like, if you're in a situation you don't like, your time is more valuable than anything. Get rid of it. You'll find another opportunity. Get out there and find another opportunity. Eliminate mistakes to maximize time. Because I'll tell you what, this 45 minutes that we just spent here on this podcast, which I'm absolutely loving, we're never getting back.
Right.
So think about how valuable your time is. Don't hold on to a mistake just because it took a long time making it. Number 3, take massive action. Whether you want to be a pro wrestler, whether you want to be a creator, whether you want to be a musician, you got to go all in all day, every day. Nobody owes you anything. Don't wait for somebody to call you. Get out there and get it. And number 4, you really want to be successful. You really want to be happy. You have to replace expectation with appreciation.
Yeah.
Do not expect anyone to give you a spot on the roster, but love and appreciate everyone that does. Do not expect anyone to watch your videos. Do not expect anyone to listen to your music, but love and appreciate everyone that does.
The thing you said about time, I watch a lot of interviews from Chris Van Vliet. Have you ever watched any of his interviews?
Oh, we met him out in Los Angeles. We're gonna have an interview coming out. Yeah.
One of the things that he has said numerous times on his show is, and he got it from someone else, but he always brings it up, is time is the only currency that you don't know the value of. You got to be thankful for what you got, and you got to work hard to get everything that you want to have.
I say that all the time on our live streams. I say, you know, when the negative comments or whatever, when the nonsense comes out, I said, I don't know how many heartbeats I have left in my chest. I'm not spending any of them on that nonsense.
Yeah.
Hey, what is that behind you to your right? I just noticed that. What is that? A big mouse head or a big?
That is a giant cardboard cutout of my cat.
Okay, all right.
For Christmas one year, one of my friends just walked into the house with this wrapped, and it's just my cat's face. So I always just have it behind me.
Not exactly one of your cat's defining moments either.
That is when I first adopted him, and so I got him from this place, like a friend of a friend, essentially. So think of it. I walk into this house, we pack up this cat into his carrier, and then he goes on an 1.5-hour car ride with people he doesn't know. So he was sitting in his carrier and he wanted to come out. So I unzipped it a little bit and he stuck his head out of the carrier. That is the face that he made. And he was just sitting there like panting and he was like, ah.
I don't know if it's the camera angle on it. The cat looks vicious, right? The cat looks like it's about to go into battle right now.
Yeah, I have a video of it on my personal channel.
Gotcha.
I'm assuming he was just scared because he didn't know who I was and I'm taking him. But it's just the funniest thing. It became a whole thing. It's an emote on my Twitch channel. And I also have a tattoo of it right there.
I gotta tell you the truth, the cat looks 3-dimensional from here. That's kind of what I know. So when you picked it up and brought it over, I was surprised that it was two-dimensional. It looks three-dimensional here on the screen from a distance.
Yeah, it's just a big flat cardboard cutout. Let's hop into a series of questions that I give to all the guests on the show. The DTC Lightning Round.
Let's go.
Question number 1, who's your favorite wrestler of all time?
Road Warrior Animal.
Hell yeah, that's a good answer right there.
Attack before the bell, complete disruption, power.
Destruction.
Just destruction.
What's your favorite pay-per-view of all time and your favorite match of all time?
SummerSlam 1991. Probably the Road Warriors beating the Nasty Boys for the tag team championship.
I have not seen that. That is 7 years before I was born.
Not a very popular one. Definitely not a textbook technical pay-per-view. I only put WrestleMania 17 in there. WrestleMania 17 was a crazy WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I will put that in there. But back to SummerSlam 1991. I was always a babyface fan.
Yeah.
So we had, Hulk and the Warrior. I had no idea what was going on backstage with that. But Hulk and the Warrior taking on Sergeant Slaughter and his crew. The Legion of Doom beating the Nasty Boys for the World Tag Team titles. The Big Boss Man beating the Mountie in the jailhouse match. We had Hitman wins his first Intercontinental Championship against Mr. Perfect.
Oh, okay. That match I've seen. Okay.
The opening match was 3 guys I absolutely loved. Was the Texas Tornado, Ricky the Dragon, and the British Bulldog. You can throw the British Bulldog up there with one of my favorites too. If you look at my ring style, I think you will see a lot of around the early 1990s British Bulldog and Road Warrior Animal in my style.
I know you said you are kind of catching up on the product, but what is your favorite thing currently going on in wrestling besides you being in AEW? I'm going to throw that out there.
I like that Will Ospreay has his eyes on the AEW championship.
Hell yeah, dude. When he made that call out, that promo the other day,
like that.
Incredible. That cage match was insane.
Just even think about that for a minute. I mean, 2 guys that really don't have to risk it all like they did, and they did, right? I mean, that's dedication. That's love of the game.
Yeah,
that's giving everything to the audience.
I am a huge Will Ospreay fan. I am also a huge Assassin's Creed fan, so that's also why I love Will Ospreay so much. That's his whole thing. That match was just one of the most insane things I've ever seen, and I really hope that he gets that championship real soon. He's definitely one of the biggest stars in wrestling in general. I mean, the crowd during his entrance is absolutely insane every time.
And at the Hammerstein Ballroom, we Big Justin and I had just finished our interview, and we're coming down the ramp, and we're leaving. He's coming down the ramp. He called us over. Boom!
Yeah, that was so good.
I think for the first time in a very long time, Mox is vulnerable.
I think so. I can agree with that.
First time in a very long time. I'm just thinking it's a matter of when. Swerve is right there. Will might be right behind him. Of course, Kenny Omega is back. I think for the first time in a very long time, Mox is vulnerable.
Yeah, it could be this Wednesday when he faces Cope. Who knows?
You never know. Of course, Cope. Oh, by the way, that's been awesome to meet Cope.
Oh,
it has been so cool to meet the Rated R superstar.
He's one of my favorite wrestlers right here. He's on my hat. I love Cope.
I first met him at San Diego, and there was great energy there. And then I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him Sunday. He was preparing for the match. But I'll tell you something really awesome he's doing. So did you see the Mr. Beast 100 Circles Challenge?
I did not.
One of his more recent videos.
No, I didn't get to watch it.
So a young kid, 12 years old, won the whole challenge, $500,000. He won. Changed his life. So Big Justice was in the competition too. Made great friends with. Gio is the winner, and of course his father. So we invited them out to Revolution. They came out. We had a great time. And there were a couple guys he wanted to meet. I was able to get him to meet a couple guys who wanted to meet Lashley. So he met Lashley, a few others. Really wanted to meet Rated R, and it just didn't line up. But anyway, I texted Adam yesterday. I was like, hey, this kid, he just won the Mr. Beast challenge. Really wanted to meet you the other night. I couldn't work it out. Can you shoot him a video? And Adam's shooting a video over for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, really cool.
This was great to do. I really appreciate you taking the time and being on the show. This was a blast. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Say it right. This hour went by so fast.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we're coming up on just an hour here. So, yeah, like I said, thank you for coming on, and it was a blast to get to talk to you and learn from you, and I really appreciate it.
You got, well, you know how I have to end it. Bring the
boom. Hell yeah.